Welcome to For the Love of Brickle. How you doing? So glad to meet ya. Come and just stories just for a few. Hello, good day, and how do you do? Welcome to For the Love of Brickle, featuring Powder. Ruff! Oh boy. Welcome, my people. I'm your girl Brickle. I always give you the ups and downs of things that occur in life. Though, so now for 5 months now, Ray was still living with Sugar Ma. Now, Sugar Ma and Ray got up extremely early one morning and started packing some clothes and other belongings. It's in a lot of excitement to, spend a weekend at a very expensive resort. While the TV was on blast, modern day R&B was playing. They were dancing a little while packing. And then Ray turned to Sugar Man and said, "Baby, I don't want because we're packing, we don't eat something proper before we leave." I'm going to the kitchen, and he rubbed his nose against hers and kissed her in the center of her forehead. Yup, and that definitely made Sugar Ma melt. Yes, people, Ma was more than happy about that. I am telling you, Ray surely knows how to keep her happy. Now, while Sugar Ma was busy packing for herself and Ray, she heard Ray from a distance chuckling and talking on the cell phone. But the most she heard was that he gave out a little outburst saying, "No, she don't know. She don't know. You mad? Later we talk, cool?" Sugar Ma mind started traveling all over the place. Woman instinct, you start thinking a lot. She was, panicking a little. She was clutching Ray's pants tightly in her hand because, she's packing his clothes right now. And at this moment, Ma thought about a lot of things, which were, I wonder if there's another woman, but maybe it's just a friend, because I never heard him say later baby or honey. But maybe he trying to make it sound like he's a friend he talking to. Oh gee, I just hope there isn't another woman, because he gives me so much attention and he's around me most of the time, and every single night he comes home to me. Before she had any more thoughts, Ray was crying out from a distance, "Boo! You want milk in your coffee or no milk?" Then Ma said in a hesitant tone, yes, put in a lot of milk and little honey, please." And Ray yelled, "Yes, anything for my queen." That made Ma blush a little, but she still couldn't help but wonder what his conversation was about, because he also shrieked, "You're mad," in the conversation. While she was wondering, she could hear Ray approaching the room door of their bedroom. So Sugar Ma changed her aura and, she started pretending to be unbothered and, got with the program. Same time, she looked up smiling and staring at Ray, holding a whole tray of fruits, like sliced apples, bananas, grapes, 2 slices of toast with butter on them, 2 eggs sunny side up, vegetable salad, fried bacon, fried sausages, hash browns. Hey, you buckle of ketchup and buckle of prickle pepper and a glass of water different, with her big, coffee mug with enough milk and honey in her coffee. And last but not least, to top it all off, a topless man named Ray, smiling from ear to ear, looking at his baby. Oh Lord. Yes, people, them love life nice, right? So then Ray said, well, this is breakfast in bed. So, baby, just make yourself comfortable on the bed, my queen. And then Ma said, oh, you're so sweet, but I soon finished packing our stuff. Then Ray said, baby, it is still extremely early. Come on. Like 30 minutes to an hour, not going to kill you just to eat, the food that I prepared for you, for us. And then he kissed her behind her ear that make her, oh gosh, blush. Oh my gosh, like a little schoolgirl, she was blushing, people. So then Ma said, okay, fine, I will, baby. And you're right. And he smiled in relief and said, that's what I want to hear. As soon as Ma was halfway eating her breakfast, Ray was busy licking up the remains of the crumbs in his plate and then let go a huge burp and said, Ma, is it okay if I take my kids out next weekend coming? And Ma looked a little puzzled, but she pretended not to feel, anyway about it and said, sure you can. They are your kids. They're your flesh and blood. And Ray stood up and said, thank you, baby. And he walked out the room excitedly, and he was walking at a pace faster than usual away from Ma. And then he yelled at a distance, baby, when you're through eating, call me. I'm going outside to feed the dogs. And then Sugar Ma started wondering why he's so happy than usual. It must be something. So Sugar Ma, instead of she called him when she was through eating, she ate the rest of her breakfast in a hurry, so she can catch up with Ray. And then she carried the teacup had a little tea in it in her hand. And then she leaned up on the wall and peeped out to see what Ray was doing. And Ray was in some deep conversation on his phone and was chuckling. So Ma just appeared around the corner. Same time. And Ray was a little surprised, but he kept his cool and said, baby, you're calling me? And Ma said, yes, but I see why you couldn't have heard me. Then Ray said, I'm talking to my baby mother, and she put me on to the kids, so I talked to them not too long ago. You want to say hi? And Ma said, no, it's fine, I understand. And Ray said, good, because I had to make them know I'm coming. And then he told the person on the phone, later we talk. And he hung up and walked Ma inside and rest his phone on the kitchen counter and lift up Ma and asked her, Ma, are you okay? And Ma smiled, looking at him a little uneasy, but maintained a plastic smile and said, so, how are the kids doing? Then he screwed his eyebrows a little and said, well, they're fine. Ma, they really are doing pretty okay, So Ma said, you don't need to look uncomfortable. I was just asking you about your kids. So Ray said, that's not the problem. It's the fact that I was, trying to get you in the mood. Then you just, out of the blues how my kids are doing, So, I was wondering, what's up? What's up? Someone said, but they're your flesh and blood, and I see them as my kids too. So Ray said, okay, that's good to know. We can, have some kids of our own. And he said this while wrapping his hands around Ma's waist. So Ma took time and slipped her way out of his arms and said, Ray, let's not talk about that right now. So he proceeded towards her again and lifted her up and put her over his shoulder and ran with her. And she couldn't help but laugh, and he said, yes, I just want to make you happy, Ma. And Ma said, yes, you're right. I see you really try to. And He said yes, and they finished packing the little stuff they had left to pack. And off to the resort they went. Yes, people, and to start them off, they went to do a full body massage at the spa, got their manis and pennies done, manicure and pedicure. Yes, people. And then eventually they went by the pool and they had a little morning brunch. Again, I know, right? And then, they played little pool games, so lovingly in the water, splashing each other back and forth. And, other couples were there and they were playing other water games. And then when it was close to dinner time, they were sitting around the table, and while they were placing their order, Ray phone rang. Someone looked at him dead in the eye, but Ray, flinched a little, but still answered the phone and said, "Ma, baby, I soon come back." Then Ma sat there furious, wondering what is Ray really up to. In the middle of our dinner, he took a call. What could be so important for him to just disappear from in front of me like this? She started wondering. So about the next 5 minutes or so, Ray was around the table again with a bright smile on his face. And then he signaled back the waitress in their direction and placed his order. And on finishing his order, he looked Ma directly in the face and said, "Ma, will you marry me?" At the same time, when Ray said those words, the waitress dropped the menu. In shock and excitedly took up back the menu and was looking in Ma's face, waiting on her response, just like Ray was. And Ma's face was upset at first, then it turned into confusion, and then she just got a sigh of relief. And then she started crying and said, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I was thinking, why were you behaving so different, especially today?" And only to find out, oh my gosh. And she wiped her tears of joy, tear after tear. Then he got down on one knee with the ring in one hand and some napkin in the other hand and started patting away her tears. And then, cleared his throat loudly, this time to draw everyone's attention. "Ma, will you marry me?" And Ma laughed and she cried with so much joy, and she nodded her head. And as soon as he actually slipped the ring out fully on her finger, she said, "Yes, yes, yes." And everyone started cheering them, round of applause, and them say, "Woo, woo." And people were saying, "Oh my gosh, you both look so good together. I honestly thought you guys were married. Good luck with everything. You both really make a cute couple. Hope everything lasts." And Ma stood up, and then Ray, off his knee and stood up as well. And then one of the big shot men that was dining there too walked up same time and squeezed his shoulder and looked at him and said, "Please don't give her any trouble now. Is a good woman. Long time we know her." And he said thanks, and he said, "I won't disappoint her no day. It's only joy I bring." And everyone laughed and said, "Okay." Them really hope for the best for the both of them. Then Ma and Ray rushed fast into each other and they kissed each other as if the kiss was what's for dinner. Ah boy, things really look up for these two. Yes, people. So stay tuned for the another chapter of Sugar Ma and Ray. Yes, people, stay tuned for part 4. I'm your girl Brickle. Always giving you the ups and downs of things that occur in life. You know, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Please remember to leave, a comment in the comment section, make it curious vibes and all those good things. Yes, people. Sugar Ma and Ray at it again. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Love you all. Peace. Mwah.